Welcome back to the Real Quick with Mike Swick podcast. Today we have Diego Sanchez on the show, Tough One alum, Tough One champion actually. So he was one of the housemates of mine from Ultimate Fighter Season 1. We've seen each other multiple times over the years. We fought, I think, 3 or 4 of the same opponents. This guy's had so many fights. He's fought legends of the sport. He's a Hall of Famer. He's done everything there is to do, and it's going to be great to catch up with him. So let's do that. All right, Diego, welcome to the show, buddy.
What up?
How's everything been? Long time.
Yeah, it's been a while, huh?
A long time, brother.
Been a while since you've been out of the UFC. I remember we used to cross paths a lot. You know, all those years fighting together. I'm sure we fought on a couple cards together.
And we fought the same opponents before. We fought like 3 opponents that we fought. We fought in Ultimate Fighter Season 1. We crossed paths. But for some reason, even though I made my mind up that I was going to be the last man standing from Tough One, you just won't let that happen. And you've already won, but you just won't stop, dude. Now you're fighting again.
Yeah, well, look, here we go. I got 4 more left. You know, I've signed my last contract with the UFC. I'm gonna ride these last 4 fights out, and I'm done. So I could see at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. I could see that light, you know. But I'm not afraid of it anymore. Before, for so many years, I used to be like, no, I'm not even gonna think about that.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna think about retirement, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was 27, I was like, all right. When I'm 37 years old, I'm going to look at everything, and I'm going to see where my health is at. I'm going to see where my money's at. And if it's time to, you know, maybe I'll take a couple more fights. And then I hit 37, and I'm like, man, I feel better at 37 than I did at 27. So I guess I'm gonna stick with it, you know. And now it's to the point where it's like, all right, you know, be grateful for what you got, and get these last 4 with your health, with your mental health, with your speech, with the ability to do other things outside of fighting.
Absolutely, brother. I totally hear you, man. Because you got to think about that second path. You know, obviously from fighting. And man, I didn't realize you were 38. I'm 41 now, so I didn't realize you were like 3 years younger than me. I mean, you've had so many fights and stuff like that. And going back to your contract, I mean, I don't want you to stop, and I think you can continue, and you're doing great. But you don't have to fight those fights. It seems like you're using your contract as like your end point, which is honorable. Obviously, you want to serve out your contract, but man, you're just going to keep going. How many fights is that going to be? Like how many UFC fights will that be?
Trust me, this could be my last fight. This fight coming up with, I will be fighting September 26th. Jake Matthews.
Right.
Location to be announced. So I don't know if it's going to be Fight Island. I don't know if it's going to be Vegas.
I think it's Apex.
They just have me. They have me in the. I'm on deck. It's my time to get on them wrestling mats and go to work. But I don't know where it's going to be.
Yeah.
But I'm just grateful to have an opportunity through the crisis. You know, coronavirus and everything that's going on all around the world. I have an opportunity. So I'm just grateful to have any opportunity right now, because opportunity is not just jumping around like it used to. You know, you get an opportunity to make some good money, help your family, establish your future. You got to jump on it, man. And they sent me this contract, 6 weeks, 6 weeks to get your ass in shape, Diego, and get your ass to UFC and fight. I'm like, all right, we doing this.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I think it's going to be at the Apex, and it's UFC 253. Also on your card is Stylebender versus Costa. I just want to ask your opinion on that fight particularly. I'm not going to break down the card or anything, but what are your thoughts on that fight? I mean, dude, Costa's a big, mean dude, but Stylebender, it's Stylebender.
So dudes are, you know, I don't know. I'm excited to watch. I'm a fan of Stylebenders.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan of Costa too. You know, he's a beast. Anybody that could fight with Yoel Romero the way he did, you got respect and cred on Diego Sanchez's part. So, you know. But as far as that fight goes, you know, it's a toss up in my opinion. Like I see it a 50-50.
Yeah.
Whoever wins that fight, I think Stylebender's gonna have to really dig deep, dig a lot deeper than he did with the Romero fight. Anyway.
Right. Yeah, it's a crazy fight, man. Speaking of that quarantine and your training now, getting ready for this, I think this fight's gonna be at the Apex in Vegas. But how does that affect you, man? Like I keep hearing news. I'm in Thailand, obviously, but I keep hearing news from America, man. It's crazy. There's like 5.8 million cases. A crazy amount of people. That's every time I see a fight card, be it UFC, Bellator, whatever, there's always fighters dropping off from COVID and all this. Like, how is it training? Like, are you having to train with less people and more careful, or is it like what?
Dude, for me, not much has changed.
Really?
Not much has changed for me. The way I had transitioned my training and my thought process to how I was going to do it for the last year and a half, 2 years. I've been doing things different. I've been training different. I've been training smarter. I've been training healthier, and I haven't been doing classes. All of my training for the past year and a half has all been private training and private sessions.
Right.
So, not much has changed for me. I have a good contact list of viable fighters that would love to learn, to help, and to be a piece of the final chapter of the legacy that is me. So we get together, dude. I was already doing private gyms, private training, early in the morning. No fan groupies around.
Yeah.
Videoing every single training session. I video. I watch the training session after. And so it's we're doing the visual training in different ways. But at this point in my career, I've trained so much. I've done millions of classes. I've done a lot of drilling, and at this point, it's just the samurai blade is there. We just got to pull the blade out, unsheath, and get that thing ready, and repeat. I've been there, done that. I'm ready for Jake Matthews. He's a good fighter, and he's an athletic specimen, and he's 26 years old.
Yeah.
The same age as my last opponent, Michel Pereira, and I look at it like this. The last dude I fought, bro, is the most athletic, backflipping, crazy dude, phenomenal athletic specimen.
Yeah.
All right, Jake's not that. And, that I'm just being real. I'm being honest. Like, one dude can do backflips on his pinky toe.
Right.
Like on his pinky toe. And so I got Jake Matthews. I understand this dude's a mixed martial arts fighter, and his strategic game plan to execute something to take out the legend and just try to recycle the energy into him. But it's not gonna happen, man. It's all here now.
Without being specific, obviously for strategic reasons, is there a game plan or a way you see the fight at least ending? Like, or is it gonna be just classic Diego, go out there and just pressure and just put everything you have on it and get fight of the night for like the 10th time?
I don't think so. I think it's going. I'm at the end. I'm at the latter stages of my career. So, I'm not. I don't feel pressured to go in there and put on this great performance that I've always been putting on for the fans. There ain't gonna be no fans there. It's just me and him. Yep. It's gonna be quiet, and like that's back to the Ultimate Fighter way. And that's
exactly.
That's ingrained in us. And I'm just gonna go out there, man. I know that this guy hasn't put more time in wrestling than me, and I understand that everybody wants to be a striker nowadays, but at the end of the day, when they lock the door in the cage, it's a true mixed martial arts fight. Yeah. There is grabbing, there is moving, there is groundwork, there is stand work, there is distance work, And so I just feel like I have an edge and a higher fight IQ. And if you go on YouTube, you can watch Jake Matthews. His best setup and his best move is on YouTube, like
Wow.
broken down.
YouTube is the best college ever. I learned more from YouTube than I have any other school in the world, honestly. It's amazing. Let me ask you, I was going to ask you, like, his, I guess, strengths in this fight against you. What do you think his thing is? I mean, do you think that he's putting you as the more experienced guy and he's going to be leery of that? Or, like, where do you think he's putting your weaknesses at? I mean, you fought so many people and done so well against so many people. It's like,
I don't know. I don't know where he's seeing the weaknesses. I've had guys make the mistake and say, like, you know, look at the Michael Chiesa fight and be like, oh, Diego's too small for welterweight. He's too small for welterweight, and you put the right grappling game plan on him and ride him and stall him and drain him out. You got a chance to to take him out. But and then there's the other approach. Diego's old, and his chin's been tested, and let's go out there and let's try to knock him out. Like, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna knock this old guy out. He has too many miles on him. We got to go and knock him out. So I think, and then there's the third, which is let's win on points.
Yeah.
And so I this is what I see Jake Matthews thinking and trying to do. Try to be a jackrabbit, in and out style, leg kicks, jabs, and takedowns, and try to win on points. But he can do whatever the hell he wants to do. He could think whatever the hell he wants to think. I'm coming in there, and dude, no fans, just straight up. I'm going in there to do what I do. Like, I've been fighting since the trailer park,
I know, bro.
Since I was like 11 years old, 7 years old, So I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna do what I do. I'll take my experience, my wisdom, the lessons that I've learned and am learning to increase my fight IQ to have a better understanding for this. Right. Because I wasn't never really truly learning anything at Jackson Wink. Yeah. I was just training with a group of guys to where it was like a wrestling practice, like a wrestling room. Let's get our wrestling, let's get our drilling in, and so now I have a better understanding now, especially for the mixing of the striking and the ground. And so fighting in the transitions and going past martial arts to understanding human movement. This is, this is everything. You can have a better understanding for your breathing, for your moving, and put it together and be the paintbrush out there on the canvas called the UFC octagon.
Right.
Gracefully. That's what I'm trying to put my last touches of magic out there on the UFC, finish out these 4 last fights. But if this is my last fight, this is my last fight. I don't know if UFC is gonna last, what's gonna happen with the coronavirus and this current state that the world is in right now. Like, it's, you got to be realistic about it, and I am being realistic about it, and that's why I'm like, this may be my last fight, because I don't have any plans of getting a vaccine.
I'm not either.
Me and Joshua, we're planning our retirement on a mountain, on the other side of the city in the safe place. So we'll see what happens. I hope I will never lose hope for humanity, and so I just hope that we can put it all together. That we can get this shit under control. That what needs to be revealed is revealed.
Yeah. Let me ask you real fast. What when speaking of training, like, we were notorious for training very hard at AKA, and like that turned out to be you know, it made us tough, but we made a lot of, you know, it wasn't good on the body, I'll say. You know, we had to slowly taper off over the years, train smarter, not train as hard. But we were one of those hardcore, like, rock'em sock'em robot type gyms. When you started out, obviously I feel, in my opinion, I haven't asked you yet, but I feel in my opinion you train smart now versus like getting in there and just beating the shit out of each other.
Absolutely.
Right. Did you start out that way? Did you start out training crazy hard?
Those crazy days, dude. I look back on those days, man. I'm like, it wasn't. I guess it was a part of the process, and I guess it was needed to go through those rounds and feel those shots, give those shots, and just for the understanding of what we're doing.
Yeah.
But you evolve and you grow and you get smarter, you get wiser. You know, you train more efficiently. You know, have a better understanding. You know, for what you're working with. You know, like especially when you're in your late 30s.
Yeah, of course.
Like it ain't easy. You better be getting some stem cells. You better be getting some PRP. You better be, you know, having some acupuncture at least. You know, like you got to have some type of formula to self-heal the body.
Right.
Or else, you know, it's gonna people just lose control, man. They let it go. You know, you let it go. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You know, you gotta. And for me, it's been a full-time job just taking care of myself. That's why I was able to be the last man standing, because remember, even when I started, I was doing the yoga, but I took the yoga and the self-healing as far as I could down the cellular matter of my soul, called the rabbit hole, you know? So.
And you mentioned people thought you were small at welterweight or whatever, but I wrestled you at 155 when you were at 155 on the show. And you were strong, man. You were like really strong and obviously very good on the ground. How do you feel at welterweight? Like, I mean, you feel fine, right? I mean, you feel perfectly fine.
I feel fine at welterweight. I feel best at welterweight. I feel best out of all the weight classes I've fought. I feel best at welterweight. And my average walk around weight in the transition from 155 to 170, it took some time. You know, it took some time to feel back into this body of a welterweight.
Yeah, of course.
And so, I because like at first I was only walking around at 176 fight week. You know, 176 fight week, 186 out of camp. I'd be around 186. This camp, I gained some weight, 190, 191, 192. You know, and then peel the weight off a little bit. You know, it's going to be, I'm going to have a little more size, a little more bone density, just a little more man strength in this one. So
you get that old man strength now.
Better at welterweight. I'm excited. I'm not going to be so tiny anymore, man, because these dudes were giants. I've been fighting the last 3 guys, man.
Yeah.
5 inches taller, 5 inches reach, like it's some real shit to deal with when you're fighting giants, man. It's some real disadvantages. Not to mention these guys are 13 years my you know, they're younger.
Yeah, even if you do have an upper hand at certain aspects, like I fought Ben Saunders one time, and he's tall and long. And it's frustrating, man, when you got guys with that much reach, you know what I mean, to try to get inside and like try to like he's a kicking machine too, so he's like kicking me with his legs, and it's just like it is tough, man. It's tough trying to get inside, and you have to score.
You do.
You mentioned so you're going to possibly fight out your contract, and this could be the last fight. So you're kind of like just seeing how it goes. What does it get you excited? I mean, you fought everyone, dude. You fought a who's who. You've had some of the greatest fights. You're a Hall of Famer. Like, I mean, tough one. You've done everything. What is it that keeps you excited and keeps you going in the fight game before you transition to your next thing?
Yeah, no, you know, it's just the complexity of the whole journey, the whole mission,
right?
The whole destiny, what I perceived it to be, what it really is, what it is going to be, what it's been, you know, and just having a real true understanding, you know, like, it's okay, Diego, fighting's gonna be over. You're still gonna be a cool dude. You're still gonna be a great dad. Like you gotta be cool with that, you know, because you gotta understand, for 18 years, almost 20 years, this is all I've been doing. I mean, I didn't take a year. I didn't take a year off.
Wow.
I went every single year going hard, training camps. So when coronavirus hit, bro, dude, I swear to you, Mike, this was the first time in my life I had a break.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I was like, no school for my daughter. I was like, no training. You gotta stay home. I was like, cool. I got me some edibles. I got me some rest, some relaxation.
Yeah.
And like now I'm charged up. I'm like, all right, I got these 4 fights. That why do it? Why stay motivated? Why even do it? Because it's just, how do you finish, man? You know what I mean? I wanna show the world, like, hey, I showed endurance. Now I want to show excellence in the finish. I want to show people how to finish this shit right. Fight for the right reasons, do the right things, use the positivity, and and help spread awareness. Because it's something that everybody needs. Once you start to become self-aware, you can get a better grasp on how to control yourself and your mind, your emotions, your also your body, and how you feel, how when you start to learn how to control your blood pressure, like really truly learn how to control the body, like outside of what people think, like, or what you've been told, what the book has told you. Like, I'm going outside of that shit. Like, when I'm done with this fighting stuff, I'm gonna be wise, man, and take these last little paydays and invest it properly, do the right things, and transfer and change with the world, because the world is changing. And that's why we're having this talk right now, is because it's a digital world now.
Yeah.
And if you ain't changing with the world, you're going to be left behind. And so, I'm getting ready, preparing myself, and I'm gonna fight these last 4 fights, and I'm gonna give it hell, and we'll see what happens with the UFC, and I'm just excited to get the opportunity, because I know a lot of the people all around the world don't have opportunity right now. And look at DJs. Look at the man. You a world famous DJ. Like, where you gonna go? Where you gonna go play? What are you gonna do? Just online shit? Oh, well, just already got your album. Like, I don't really need to listen to the live. Like, so things are changing, and I'm changing with them. I got these last 4 fights in the UFC, and I'm done.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to take a second to thank our sponsor, AKA Thailand, the world's premier luxury training resort here in Phuket, Thailand. We are, as of the time of this podcast, the live airing of this podcast, well, not live, but the posting of this podcast, still offering a 30% reopen special. As of right now, it looks like the flights are going to open on October 1st to come to Phuket, with a little bit of a quarantine, but you are allowed to come at that time. And then I think by November, it should be completely open. That's the goal. But in the meantime, for you guys planning on coming, I'm going to give you a discount of 30% on all group training. No expiration. You can use it anytime you want in the future. So even if you don't come exactly when the quarantine's over and you want to come in a year from now, no problem. You can go to akathailand.com or email us at info@akathailand.com if you have any questions. 30%. The website's already set up. You can go on there and book right now, get 30% discount. That saves you a third. So that'll help with your flight and with your other expenses coming to Thailand to train at, I'll say it in a biased way, but one of the best gyms in the world, the best gym in the world, and the highest rated destination gym in the world. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't know about AKA Thailand, you haven't seen the gym before, here's a commercial.
What's up, everybody? I am here in Thailand. This is the first time I've ever been here. Been dying to come here for years. Mike Swick, he's one of the big reasons he's been trying to pull me down here. What he built down here, AKA Thailand, is incredible. There's people here from all over the world. You can train mixed martial arts here, jiu-jitsu. They have weightlifting, they have cardio, and obviously they have Muay Thai, boxing, everything. telling you guys, I know everybody wants to go to Thailand because Thailand's so cool, but you can't come to Thailand without coming to AKA Thailand. Come on.
I have a two-part question, and this is not negative in any way. I support you, and I think it's absolutely crazy, some of the things I heard. But in the situation with Joshua and the situation with the knee, how do you handle the negative criticism now since you've been in this for so long? And does it bother you more that it's so ridiculous that you are a legend of the sport, a Hall of Famer, and someone who's literally fought everyone and got fight of the night so many times that there's anybody out there that would question these things like the knee and stuff like that? Like, so how do you handle it? And then was it extra painful just for the fact that like people forget so easy who you are? Like for me, it's like, how do you fucking question you? You know what I mean? Like there's very few people that's proven themselves to be a true fighter and fought everybody and fought their heart out as much as you have. How are you dealing with that? I know you're very zen and you do a lot of yoga. How are you dealing with that? And how do you get past it?
I think with that situation that people became so accustomed over the years of watching who I am and how I fight with this passion, intensity, and heart,
right,
that they just got a little greedy for that. Like they wanted to see that every time, and what happened in my last fight was what happened in my last fight, and they wanted to see me fucking show. They wanted to see me take the hit to the head with a giant, get back up and be like, "Orale, let's do this, Holmes. I'm from the streets, dog.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I got this cut on my head. I don't give a fuck. Let's go." Like that would have been the young warrior Diego, you know. And as I'm transforming, you know, you gotta get wise. And if you know, I would have tried to finish a fight, you know, injured, blood in my eyes, already dazed from the illegal shot. Like it's not about heart no more. It's about somebody made a mistake, went out the lines of the context of the lines of which are the rules and regulations that make this thing feasible to do.
Yeah.
If we didn't have rules, regulations, it'd just be okay, get in there, you kill, monkey, kill. You know, but so yeah, no, dude, I had to be real. I was real with myself in the moment when it happened. I'm like, if I try to continue to fight right now, I'm not fighting in 100%, man. I'm putting myself, I'm putting my future, I'm putting my health at risk.
Over an illegal move.
Why do I, you know, have I not done that already? I did that in my younger 30s. Like, I took BJ Penn's hits when, you know, like, that was all puro heart. I took Gilbert Melendez's best shots. You know, I did that. I paid my dues to that, you know, and when the time came, I'm like, nah, man, listen, this ain't right. This ain't fair. Like, no, I'm not going to continue. Like, that's it. That's the fight. Like, sorry, fans, you didn't get your breathtaking moment. Well, not every fight's going to be that. So, if you want that moment, well, you got to still continue to watch because you might get it, you might not.
Yeah, it's good. The fans, it's like gladiator days and stuff, dude. Like me and my friends should joke about it. Like you can get your eye knocked out of your head, and I think the fans would still want you to continue with your eyeball hanging from your eye and just keep swinging and fighting. Like it's funny how it like, yeah. Sometimes safety goes completely out the window to the for the entertainment side of things. But I'm just wondering how you handle it. But yeah, no, that's it's tough, man. But you've had some crazy fights, man, and like you've proven yourself so much. I want you to understand that I support everything you've done.
I'm a human being, Mike, and so yeah, dude, I'm a human being, and there are places in my heart that were hurt when people were attacking me after.
For sure, yeah.
But that's why I have a good brother and manager and trainer and coach that, you know, is willing to say, no, fuck that. I'm not going to let them fucking sacrifice you to some bullshit. I'm not going to let them punk you like you're some bitch. Like, Mike Bond, we want to interview tomorrow. We are driving to Vegas. This is day after fight. I got 2 broken ribs. We need an interview tomorrow. You're setting it up.
Yeah.
Or else we got to sue you then. You know, we got to sue you then. Like, we're going to make this real. We're gonna bring. Oh, you want to put pressure on us? Okay, we'll bring the pressure back. You know, like, oh yeah, because there was things that were illegal happening.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know, like the referee's not even allowed to ask a fighter a question after he's sustained an illegal blow to the head. Like the fighter is not.
You're incapable of answering a question. You should be incapable of answering a question.
They have, they can't ask you no questions. That's illegal. It's between the commission and the referees, and they make that decision for you.
So, but real quick.
Yeah, come in.
Real quick, Mike. You said how did he handle it? And he handled it great when you figure out that most of that energy and all that stuff is bots and bullshit. And when you then can take the emotion out of it, because no real person would ever say any of this shit.
That's the truth.
Then on top of it, when we see the $500,000 smear campaign to discredit me, decharacterize me, use anonymous articles a year later from an incident that I have the fucking video. Let's not be assholes here.
Right.
That's why you're putting me out like that.
Yeah.
But let's get some real shit straight. After you have Luke Thomas and everybody and their mom act like you guys care about Diego, and you beg and plead, and if anybody's out there, please know that that guy's a scandalous guy and you protect Diego. How come in New Mexico, where we live, in a hometown, a fight town, the town with the drama with Greg Jackson's, not one person has talked to him or I, and this is how ridiculous it really is. So this internet stuff, putting out this perception, you got to come see what's really going on, because when we get more respect and admiration when the camera's not on, but when you put the camera on and you put the negative spin, and the UFC's got the video of me with the knife in the gym, how come they didn't say nothing? How come not one UFC fighter at the PIs ever come up to me and said, oh, you're a punk, you don't know shit, let's go? How come?
Yeah.
The world of tough guys, and not one person stepped to me when it really comes down to it, it's coming to me with respect.
Yeah.
But not one of those people will do it on camera because of the negative movement of energy that will come upon them.
Right.
So now that you're talking to the black sheep, why? Because there's a true story here.
Yeah.
There's the one guy that's been here long enough to actually know the shit. And finally, somebody without any head trauma in the space to see what the fuck is going on. And now that somebody's got enough awareness to teach people how to protect themselves and not be taken advantage of like a mule or a dog.
Right.
Yeah, man, that gets a little scary. You might want to shut that little fucker up, right?
Yeah, I want to ask you real fast on a couple quick questions though. Do you think with Conor McGregor and Khabib and stuff like that, do you think we were ahead of our time being on Tough One? Like, do you think that, Ultimate Fighter Season 1, all the stuff that happened, what we did, and then the sport launched and got so big, do you feel like you were ahead of your time and your fights were ahead of their time?
No, I think without us and without that time period, it wouldn't be what it is now. And so, yeah, we are the pioneers, man. We were the pioneers, man. We got that. We got this party started, bro. You know, we lit the fire, man. We threw some gas on that fire, man. We threw the man. It turned into coals, bro. That fire's coals now. It's hot, man. You know, like we were the wood, and we were the start of the fire. We were the spark, bro. We really truly were the spark of UFC.
Yeah.
Think about that.
They said it in their own letter.
You know, we know the truth. You know, not one network would touch the show. You remember?
Yeah.
Like no one would even touch it.
It was tough.
If it wasn't for Frank, and if it wasn't for Frank and Lorenzo, you know, funding it themselves, it never would happen.
Did you think during the filming of the show that it would take off and it would be what it was, or did you think it would get canceled because of everything that happened before? Like, where was your mindset during the show?
Oh no, dude! I had no doubt about UFC and mixed martial arts. It just made sense to me before it made sense to anybody else. Like I remember 1999, 2000. I was just graduating high school, but I already knew that UFC was going to take off. I was like, this is the real human chess match. I was like, why wouldn't that take off? Like, it's better than all sports. It was like, I was a young kid and I was like, it's better than all sports. It's the real, like, it's not no bullshit. Like, because I was a wrestler and I'm like, well, that's some bullshit. You got to go hold the guy down on his shoulder, pin his shoulders down. That's how you beat a man. That's not how you beat a man. You beat a man by making him quit, making him not want to be in there with you no more. That's a real, true human chess match. You know, you put someone to sleep, you cut their arteries off, you knock them out. Like, that's, I was like, nah, this is going to be the real sport. Like, I was like, man, they're going to get rid of the Olympics and, like, UFC is going to be the real shit. And, like, that's what's happening now.
I know you fought everybody, and from the winning Ultimate Fighter Season 1 to going on to fight all the fights you've had, even before Ultimate Fighter and after, what do you consider your biggest win, biggest, most memorable feeling?
My biggest, most memorable feeling
for a win, yeah.
Man, there were so many good ones, but I would have to say the one that really stands out for me is Marcin Held. I fought Marcin Held in Mexico City, and it was 8,200 feet altitude.
Yeah.
And really bad, toxic, a lot of smog. So, like, it's hard to fight there, bro. It's so hard to fight with the smog and the altitude. It's like a double dose of this bad air. And but the energy was there, man. And you know, I could feel that energy of just the Azteca, man, the Mexican people, and just the fact that I had the last name Sanchez. They got behind me, and when I went out, like, I felt like it was like some deeper tribal shit. Like, when I was walking out to the cage, man, I felt like I was like representing these people. Like, I felt like these are my people. Like, and like I put my hands out like that. And, like, I was taking in the energy. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know, man. Sometimes I don't keep my energy, just let my energy be. But I was taking in their energy. I went out there, and it was a tough fight. Marcin Held was a young stud, man, with incredible jiu-jitsu. And just a younger guy, you know. And cutting to 55s was still very hard for me, man. It took a lot out of me. And to do it in my mid-30s, in Mexico City, and feel that energy, and it wasn't until the fans were like this. Listen to this. They're like, Diego, Diego. They're doing the Diego chant, and like, I'm in it, man. I'm with them. I'm not like, oh, you gonna do that Diego chant? All right, I got you. I'm pulling some guts, some glory. I'm pulling some crazy shit out of my inner being. Like, I'm gonna fuck this guy up.
Yeah.
And so this is going down. It's the last round. I'm pounding this dude, man. I'm ground and pounding. I'm finishing, man. I want that finish. But, you know, the young guys, he's holding on. You know, he's trying to survive. And bell rings, I get up, and like the whole crowd's going crazy, and Marcin Held is laying on the ground, cannot get up. And I point at him like this. And the crowd's going crazy, and I just go like this. Oh, like, that's a finish. Like, he can't stand up right now. Like, you see me standing. There he is. Look, he's down on the ground. That's done. That's a finish. And that was my favorite moment. And then, of course, winning the Ultimate Fighter, defeating Ken Flo, knocking out Joe Riggs.
We both fought him.
Beating Nick Diaz. Well, me and Nick Diaz hated each other, man. Yep. I'll tell you insight on that, then I gotta go. Nick Diaz used to send me emails, man. He found my email. He talked to some one of the MMA journalists at the time. There wasn't many. He gave him my email. And he was emailing me hate mails, you know, bad shit, man. Talking shit about my mom, talking shit about my dad.
So he was taunting you over
trying
email?
to get under my skin with everything. everything he had.
Wow.
You know, like he hated me. He hated the Ultimate Fighters. He was like, because we got all that attention. He was in the spotlight at that time. He hated us and he hated me. And so that one was a good one. Many moments, man. BJ Penn, man. Yeah, that was Martin Kapman. You know, like 7 cuts on my face, Martin Kapman. And I still dug deep, man. You know, so there's been many moments, man. And now I get 4 more. You know, maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And like you said, people don't realize that, like, when we came off The Ultimate Fighter, we became like stars and we got, you know, in the UFC, and people forget the fact it was hard for us. Like, the UFC fighters in the UFC gave us no respect. Even though you had as many fights as you had, Forrest, so many guys had so many fights. People, like you just said, they don't know or they don't remember how hard it was for us to prove ourselves in the UFC. We had to keep winning because we were looked upon as guys who had some kind of like easy shoe-in, and we were the TV guys, and we got no respect, even though we were fighters on Ultimate Fighter Season 1, and we went through that whole freaking show and helped build the sport. And instead of getting respect, we actually had to, like, that's why we were all had that chip on our shoulder when we got in the UFC, because like we were the hated guys in the UFC.
It's a good thing, man. It's a good thing that we were a legit group of guys.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Everybody held their own. Dude, look. Lieben freaking knocking out Vanderlei Silva.
They would have loved killing us, bro.
That's some real shit. Like, don't deny that, dude. That's
Forrest
some
winning
real
the belt.
shit. Like, those Ultimate Fighters, dude. They don't know what they were just all a reality show. Yeah, right, bro. Look at all of our best victories, man. All of us, man.
Yeah.
You look at Forrest. He became world champion.
Yeah.
You know, Bonner, 5 world champions. You know what I mean? Like, we were legit.
Bonner, I just had Bonner on the podcast a few podcasts ago.
You know, Bonner says hi.
He said hi.
I kicked it with him last night. You know, he's doing good. Kicked it with him and his son Griffin.
That's awesome, yeah.
And you know.
Well, listen, man. I know you got to go to the training center, but listen, man. I appreciate you taking time out to talk to me and being on my show. I haven't caught up with you in a long time. I'm rooting for you in your fight. Can't wait to see it. And when you come to Thailand, bro, I got you. I'm gonna show you all the cool places in Phuket. Train at my gym. Man. It's gonna be amazing.
There. When the shit, hopefully this shit will mellow out a little and we can get out there in 2021. That would be a dream come true. The 2 places that I never got to go was Brazil and Thailand. And so
I got you in Thailand, bro. Just let me know. Send me a message and I'll take care of you, brother.
All right, my man. God bless. Stay up, and to all the Thailand people out there, go check out AKA Thailand, the best gym out there, and have a great time. School of Self-Awareness. Check us out. We're going live.
We'll all be rooting for you, brother. We'll all be rooting for you at UFC 253. So take care. Have a good training session, and thanks again for being on the show, Diego.
All right. Thank you to CBD Farmhouse for creating the best CBD out there. Have a good day.
All right, brother. Take care. All right, there you have it. Diego Sanchez, my old housemate, my old roommate from Ultimate Fighter Season 1. And, man, that was good catching up, you know. Classic Diego. He looks like he's ready for his fight. He looks like he's ready for anything. He's always been ready for anything. That's Diego. And I think it's going to be a great fight with Jake Matthews coming up here at UFC 253. At the Apex, I'm pretty sure. I'm 90% sure it's going to be at the Apex, but it doesn't matter. It's still going to be at the same time and on TV. You can't go to it. It's not a live event. But we wish him the best, and I feel like it was a great conversation to catch up with him and see what he's up to and get his thoughts on Jake Matthews, get his thoughts on a few other things. Hope you took from it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave a comment, subscribe. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, who you want to see on the show. If you're on the audio platform, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, you can subscribe, review there as well. And I appreciate the support. Thank you so much, guys, and see you next time.